Hello, I'm Meher Kaur. I'm a final year student at National Law School, Bangalore.
Hi, I'm Manjari Rathor and I'm a final year student at NUJS Kolkata.
The topic we're going to discuss today is custodial death, a slow demise of rule of law. For those of you who are not from the legal background, I'll try to explain what rule of law means in plain, simple terms. A simple Google search will show that rule of law means the restriction on the arbitrary powers by subordinating it to well defined and established laws. Custodial deaths, on the other hand, as the term suggests, means the death of a detainee while he is in police custody. We all would agree that established laws with respect to the treatment of detainees in custody definitely do not allow torturing and killing them. Though some fundamental rights of a detainee may be curtailed during the time he is in custody, the fundamental rights to life and dignity still hold strong. However, a look at the few cases out of the very many thousands that managed to make it to the limelight shows how rule of law is brutally murdered along with every instance of a detainee being tortured and murdered. In the Unnao rape case, for example, Kuldeep Singh, who was the main accused, was also found guilty in the case of the custodial death of the victim's father. This case is as recent as 2018, and it'll be pertinent to note at this point how the situation has only worsened since the first time the Apex Court declared custodial violence and custodial deaths to be a slap on the face of rule of law in the case of DK Basu versus the state of West Bengal in the year 1997.
Following the Supreme Court judgment in 2018, we looked at some statistical data and found out that in 2019, the United Nations Convention Against Torture reported that 1,731 people died in custody. In 2018, the National Crime Records Bureau reported 894 deaths. In 2017, the Union Ministry of Home reported 1,674 deaths in custody, which is approximately 5 deaths per day. Analyzing these statistics, it can be said that in the year 2018, the figures were comparatively low because of the Supreme Court judgment delivered in the Kuldeep Singh's case. However, the impact of the judgment could not last long and faded away with time, and the figures almost doubled in 2019. Going by the statistics, it is evidently clear that the present legislation is not a sufficient safeguard against custodial death, and the efforts of the judiciary also have fallen on deaf ears so far. Hence, we propose that one of the possible ways to remedy the situation would be an adoption of a specialized legislation that would deal solely with respect to custodial death. Prevention of Custodial Torture Bill was also proposed by the Law Commission of India in its 273rd report. The bill clearly defines torture, which was earlier not defined anywhere in the Indian Penal Code. It also provides for death or life imprisonment as a punishment for custodial death, which would act as a deterrent for misconduct with the prisoners. The bill envisages a speedy trial, which would ensure that the witness does not turn hostile under pressure. One of the key features of the bill is that it puts the burden of proof on the police and specifies that if there is evidence that the torture was committed during a time when the person was in police custody, the court may conclude that the death or injury were performed by the police officer who had the custody of the person during that time. Of course, we cannot look for solutions only in law. If only passing a legislation would curb every issue that exists in the country, there would be no thefts, no murders, no cheating today, because we have legislation prohibiting all of these. What is needed is a thorough change in the mindset and an effort to respect the rights of each and every individual.
Brotherhood should not be preserved only within the police community in terms of not reprimanding those police officers who are responsible for killing detainees in custody, but should also extend even to the poor detainee who stripped off of the most basic of his human rights. It is only then that we as a nation will be truly equipped to end custodial violence and deaths. Thank you.
Thank you.